want to stack it in there and make it last over at the station at the firehouse. So
that ice machine there, if we could find power somewhere, it's got about 250 bags of ice that we could plug it in.
Let me see if I can chase a generator down. How big well?
Oh, not much. It's running. It's 150.
Okay.
We're running it now with the generator back to truck.
Okay. So you're running.
We're from Hondo. We brought a bottle of water in.
Your whole police department was here last night.
I know.
You could have.
I seen 6 of them going back, and we were on the way up here.
They came past me up with some water crossing up here. I said, who's left in Hondo?
Not me.
And the guys they were like, there ain't much left.
No, usually they're on every street corner, and they've been kind of desert when I was going back.
Well, appreciate you running up here, man. So the two Baptist, the two churches, and then
like I say, we're at that church right there, but
that's
they ain't got no power.
I know it.
So we unloaded all the water, and we brought there, but I said,
I would say put it in the cooler at the home store, but that one ain't happening. So all right. Well, thanks again. I'll be back up. I'm gonna take the buggy. I'll be back up at the firehouse. Need something? Stop up there and give me a shout.
Okay.
Just bring it up to the firehouse. I've got a big cooler or a big freezer, no power, but at least it's insulated. We can throw it. Kirk Griffin. Nice to meet you. Appreciate it.
All right. Hey, you need some ice, brother? Good. Okay.
Hey, I'm gonna call Texas first, see if they can donate.
Yeah. I mean, whatever we can get.
Pay for it.
We're not going to.
Are you fire chief?
Assistant chief. Yeah, I really hate to get into even thinking about that at this point. All right.
See if they'll want that.
All right, good. You guys picking up over
Evacuation of this area is required. Follow evacuation route instructions.
Oh, yeah. No, I know. Well, put up high. Big splatter, too. Yeah. Once it starts getting flat, there's no place for it to go. Talk to him, okay?
I'll talk to you. Thanks I really appreciate it.
No.
So we are also... Oh, it's getting muggy out.
It is getting muggy, yeah.
I hear it. Okay. Did you get a chance to look closer into the Hunt store?
It's gone. There used to be a little white building on the other side that was
post office. That's what we did.
A nice slab there.
And I tried to pick up the brick. Brick is heavy.
Oh, yeah.
It just goes to show the...
I've seen water in places that, it's crazy. It's,
Yes.
I tell you what, the funniest thing, everybody that I've talked to is, where are we going to get all the things going on? Where are we going to get our mail?
That is a question, though.
But I mean, yes, sir, thank you.
Do you really want to get your bills?
I think everybody...
Maybe they'll give you a break.
Who was it? It was Oh gosh, what did somebody tell me yesterday? I can't even remember. It's just been, so nuts that we're
just shocked.
Yeah.
They're going to toss to us in a few
No
seconds.
problem.
You're used to this. You're a pro.
I've given more interviews in my life over the years on stuff. It's crazy. You can head up there. Yeah.
We're going next. Yeah. Sorry. I don't know.
It's running. Yeah.
Thank you. I won't keep you long.
May get just a bit. He's heading up to the church, Jimmy. Okay.
Rather than the fire department, I don't know who's going to pay for it.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out later.
Again, Kurt.
Channel 4. Channel 4.
Thank you again for standing here and talking to us. We
no
appreciate it. I know you're busy.
No, like I said, it's just kind of coordination stuff. It's nothing.
How do you pronounce your last name again?
Griffin.
Griffin. Easy.
Yeah.
It's like Smith.
Griffin, as in Peter Griffin?
I-N, with an I-N. Everybody, for some reason, says
Ian.
I'm like, I've never seen it. I've never met anybody with it spelled that way. And everybody always, that's one of those things everybody always asks. If I'm being a real smart aleck, they say, what's your first name? Like the Scottish church. Scottish church are Kirks. So, and that just really throws them off.
Kurt.
Yeah.
Kirk.
My parents wanted a name that couldn't be changed. My dad's real name is Gerald, and he goes by Jerry. So.
It was Kirk, right?
Yes.
Welcome back. So it is getting much hotter out here today, but it's no more rain we're having here. It was misty, but it is getting pretty muggy here. I am joined with Kirk. He is the assistant fire chief here.
Yes, ma'am.
You've been here for 27 years. So
Yes,
tell me a little bit about, we got a lot of action going on, a lot of first responders. They're all volunteers out here working. Most of them are volunteers, right?
Most everybody you see is volunteers. We've got a super community that's supporting us with a lot of equipment, trying to get. Biggest project right now we got working on is getting the highway open to 2 lanes both ways, just getting the debris off and so that everybody can get in and out. We've got a couple river crossings upriver that are closed that are impassable, and they'll stay impassable for a while. We're able to get to every place in our district and in the area that's been affected. We're getting there. A lot of volunteers. We're taking care of the local stuff. The state operation is taking care of the recoveries, as you guys have probably heard. We appreciate their help, and they're letting us take care of what problems that we're experiencing.
A lot of problems. I mean, the Hunt store here was a staple in the area, and also your post office. A lot of people are wondering what happens with your mail now.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny, yesterday's conversation when everybody heard that the store was closed and the post office is gone, you know, how are you going to get your mail and where are you going to go to eat lunch? So the Hunt store is probably a total loss, and we'll make it back.
But this is going to take some time.
Yes,
There's a lot of efforts going in. You see behind us, there's a lot of action going on, a lot of moving the debris out of the way.
Yeah, that's our biggest thing at this point is trying to get everything passable. We've got vehicles and trees and that kind of stuff, and fortunately, we'll just keep working it.
Now, if there are people here in the community that need some help or, want to help, how can they go about it and where can they go?
Yes, ma'am. Any food donations to either one of our two churches in the community here. We've got a Baptist church and the Methodist church. The first responders are based out of Ingram, just a little bit further back. And so that's where that operation's going. But if you guys make it to Hunt, and you got something food-wise, the churches are where we're trying to put it.
Absolutely. And is there a message that you'd like to send out to your community members?
Everybody's safe, so stay that way.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you. I also do want to mention, I did speak to the owner's wife here at the Hunt store. They said that they're going to post some updates on their website, which is thehuntstore.com, and they'll post some things on there because they said there are a lot of people who are looking to get in and help. They want to do new donations and things like that. So they said pay attention to that, and they'll continue to update the website. Jordan, back to you. He's still here, yes. Yes. Are you able to tell us a little bit about Camp Mystic, since it's in the area, and how difficult it may be to get into that area?
The road is clear to there. The bridge that is right before Camp Mystic took a big hit. The road base, and it peeled the asphalt right off the top of the road. So we're dealing with gravel and a lot of debris that we're trying to get smoothed out to get in and out there. We helicoptered a bunch of people in and out yesterday. That was very successful with Army Blackhawks and the DPS helicopters and one sheriff helicopter. So it's accessible. We did get ambulances in there yesterday. It's just there's no road left. And of course, it's not smooth after getting washed out. So they're trying to get that repaired enough to get vehicle traffic in and out with ease. And so that's the latest I know from up there. Access-wise.
Yeah, just overall, just very devastating to hear.
Yeah. Yes, you get. It's amazing when you got one road in and one road out. You tear up a piece of it, it puts a kink in the operation. So.
A lot of first responders up in that area, just getting to that location.
Getting to that area, yes, ma'am. We had fortunately had game wardens, a lot of police support in and out of the whole San Antonio area. We had police support out of Hondo and areas south of us that came in yesterday. Greatly appreciated. Made sure everything worked real smooth.
So it's all just a matter of time and just resources in getting there?
Resources down a 2-lane road that's 1 lane right now. So that's our biggest issue. So that's why the skid steers, that part of the effort is our biggest task this morning.
Thank you so much, Kurt, for that information. Yeah, so again, a lot of resources with that. Getting into that location is just really difficult, is what we're hearing. Absolutely. Okay. Do you want the... I hate to do it at home again. Hey, can you guys hear me? KABB. 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 Hey, Kirk, can I borrow you one more time?
Sure. So,
Take your time right there. Yeah, you're good. Take your time. I'll call you over.
yeah, last time.
I'm dialed in. I don't hear anything. Hello, can you guys hear me? Mic check. Thank you again. So that road to get down there.
So that's been our biggest problem is just we had to wait for the river to come down. Fortunately, in our part of the world, we're not like what we saw in North Carolina and that kind of stuff. The river here drops very quickly. Down where you were talking in Seguin, once that river gets up, it doesn't go down. Like we were saying, it's just flat. Yeah. And so fortunately for us, it comes up and it goes down, but it did a lot when it came up yesterday.
Yeah. Thank you, Kirk.
Yeah, no problems. It's close enough.
I think I said it right the first time, right?
My mom, yeah. No, my mom would be fine. As long as mom's happy, right?
Right. I don't want no problems.
You don't want mom's problems, yeah.
Okay.
You from the San Antonio area?
I'm from Philly. I moved
really?
here, yeah. And I've been loving it so far, yeah.
Oh, good. Welcome.
Thank you.
I actually went to high school in Northern Virginia, so I know that part of the world pretty well.
Nice.
And,
okay, they just went to our... Okay, we're next after this one, I think.
you did good at losing your accent.
Oh, if I say water, there it goes. I have to fake it on air.
There you go. There you go.
Water.
Good.
I think I slipped up once today.
Don't say pop.
Oh, I say soda.
Yeah.
My dad says soda pop.
Everything's a Coke, right? Just say Coke.
Right. It's
safe at Coke or Dr. Pepper.
Yes. Wow. Is he still good right here? Do you need him to move anything? He's good right here?
Oh, he's good right there. Yeah. He's professional now.
I wouldn't go that far. I'm just an old Aggie engineer, so.
Oh, we got some more people. Oh, looks a lot of help coming.
That's the owner's family.
Nice.
So.
So, Kirk, all them gentlemen over there, volunteers?
All volunteers.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Every piece of equipment that's been behind us or been past us, that's all folks just volunteer.
Where do you put this? Where do you put the debris?
Right
Yes.
now, we're just pushing it, trying to get it off the road.
Just off the road.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
so we can get 2 lanes of traffic. Eventually, TxDOT and
Handles
local
it.
folks will start cutting it up and getting it out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
From here out, there's a lot of lines down like what you're seeing here, and so yeah, it's.
And is the whole community without power right now? Majority?
Everything from the intersection west. The other side of the river over there has power. So
It's just like because of this right here.
well, part of it's because of this, and so much of the stuff is down further out. We were very surprised when the power came back on across the river last night.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good to hear.
Yeah, my house is over there. Heck, I got to take a warm shower. So.
Work tirelessly, that they would do this every day until everybody who was unaccounted for would be found. So again, I'm just going to quickly go through all these numbers one more time of what was revealed to us for the death toll at this morning's briefing. And again, as of 8:55 this morning, 850 people were uninjured, 8 were injured. Again, that was rescued. 27, unfortunately, were recovered, that were bodies found. Of those 27, 18 were adults, 9 were children, 6 adults were unidentified, and 1 child has been unidentified. And sadly, what they said to us was 27 were from Camp Mystic, and it doesn't mean that they were all children. Some were adults, maybe camp counselors or people with the camp. And so that remains to be seen. There will be another press conference later on today at 2 o'clock where we will get another update and probably some real numbers as well. So of course we will keep you updated. We will bring you the most up-to-date coverage on air and online, so make sure you stay with us. But for now, that is the latest. Reporting live from Kerrville, I'm Christina De Leon, Fox SA. We will send it back to you. Okay, I'm dialing in now to Fox, OAI.
Thumbs up. I can hear you. What am I on now? Yeah, I was supposed to come over here and then go back to News 4.
And that were safely evacuated. 8 people were injured. 27 bodies were recovered, so that number did tick up by a few. Of those 27, 18 adults, 9 children, and of those adults, 6 of them were unidentified and 1 child was unidentified. And sadly, what we did confirm also during this press conference was 27 campers from Camp Mystic are still missing right now. And so there is still an active search for those 27 who are still missing. It doesn't mean that they are all children. There were still camp counselors, still people with that camp who are adults who still remain missing of those 27. And what was also said during that press conference was that today would be a very sad day, and that what was happening as of 8 a.m. are boots on the ground. It is a boots on the ground operation. So you may remember in the 8 o'clock hour, in the 7 o'clock hour as well, we were at City West Church in Ingram, where there was a humongous staging area for all the different municipalities, for all the different areas within the Texas region. Obviously, San Antonio, Schertz, Fredericksburg, Uvalde, we saw them all, Texas Game Warden, DPS. At about 8 o'clock, we did see them all jump in their units, basically their trucks, ATVs, they had water rafts, and they all basically got their marching orders and assignments. They jumped in those trucks, SUVs, whatever it was they were driving, and they got on their way. And that was around the same time that we found out during the press conference at 8 o'clock, there was a boots on the ground operation. So that's when they took off, most likely to start what they called the boots on the ground operation, heading to where that harsh environment was for a primary search, is what we found out during this press conference. They started that primary search, and it started in Hunt, and it was a 17-kilometer stretch, is what they said during this press conference. It's a 17-kilometer stretch is where they were going for this primary search, where they were just going to walk and basically turn over rocks, look through brush, see what it was that they could find, and maybe find some survivors that may have withstood this flooding or grabbed onto something. And if they could be found, that would be another win during this flooding disaster. And that is what is going on right now with all of these people who are here to actively respond to what has gone on, this tragedy that has been more than 24 hours old. So that's what they're trying to find. Now, again, what they did confirm, sadly, is that 27 people from Camp Mystic are still missing and unaccounted for right now. And as the death toll has risen also to 27 people who died and sadly lost their lives, 18 of them adults and 9 children. So that's what we're looking for. And that was the update that we got from this press conference this morning from the Hill Country Youth Event Center here in Kerrville. So in just another few hours at 2 o'clock, we will once again get another update with some real numbers, but they also emphasized how many resources that they got from the state of Texas. And we did ask for a list of names because we've seen on social media so many pictures, so many faces with phone numbers saying that this person is missing, this child is missing. And we thought if we had a list of names, maybe we could clear some of that up. We could scratch them off the list saying, no, that they're okay, that person's okay, or this person's still missing. They said, absolutely not. We will not give you that because, as you can imagine, this is still moving parts, a lot of moving parts. It's still active. The JP here, who's like the medical examiner, they are overwhelmed, as you can imagine, and they would just simply not release that to us. But we are getting overwhelmed too with pictures and faces and social media sites and everybody who's saying, tugging in every direction, wanting to know where their family member is. And we just thought if we had a list of names, we could, coincide them with the pictures that we're seeing, and they wouldn't release it for us. So we will wait for that. But just know that the state and all the resources are doing everything that they can to try to get that as many people as possible found. So we will keep working and pushing for every piece of information we can. But for now, that is the latest reporting live here from this event center. We will bring you updates as we can on air and online. Reporting live from Kerrville, I'm Christina De Leon. We will send it back to you. Hey girl!
How are you?
Good, just tired.
Yeah, I know.
Just tired.
I saw you. I didn't see you at the fire the
in areas where the river does come up over the river, the roads, it basically just peeled the asphalt off the roadbed. And so we've got gravel roads with big holes. Fortunately, TxDOT did get in last night and got them at least passable. And we continue to do that as both out the North Fork of the river and the South Fork.
A lot of resources are needed for this, and that's a small area to get to.
Yes, it is. Fortunately, we've had a bunch of people donate their time and the equipment. We've got volunteer crews running skid steers clearing the highway. so that TxDOT and emergency responders can get in and out on 2 lanes.
Now, as for here in Hunt, Texas, you know, a lot of crews working here today, clearing the debris from the roadways, because there's a lot of debris here. This is heavy material that has been from the post office that you've had.
The post office to the Hunt store to fences and everything else. All the rock has been knocked down. We've got rock and brick everywhere, and you know, we'll clean it up and keep going.
How long will you guys be out here doing this for today?
We'll be out here until we shut down. So it'll be dark plus.
And I want to mention, it's a small community, so this is all volunteers working their time.
Yes, ma'am. The dozen or so skid steers that you've seen, one more just arrived, those guys are all volunteers.
And I also want to mention, you know, that, you know, this community has stepped up. I know a lot of people are talking now, you know, what can we do next? What happens next? What can people do next? And if they need donations, where can they go?
Our 2 churches in the area, the Methodist Church and the Hunt Baptist Church, are taking donations as food and dollars for us right now. So if you need to, feel free to contact them the best we can. Currently, we have no phone service, but people are, cell phones are working spottily, if that's all right. And we'll go from there.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier about your side is you have power.
My side of the river has power. This side of the river doesn't.
Yeah, we do see the powered line.
Telephone lines, power lines are down. So even old dial-up phones aren't working right now. So you know, especially anything that's fiber or anything like that, our local community company HCTC is working really hard to get things back up in June for us, and doing a yeoman's job.
Now, are you able to talk to me a little bit about yesterday and like that scene of just the water rushing through? I mean, the Hunt store here completely damaged.
We had water way higher than any of us have ever seen. It's my understanding that since the 1930s, been through some pretty good rises here. I haven't seen this, and so first report that we heard from the other side of the river yesterday, about a mile downstream, because we couldn't get across, that the post office and the Hunt store were gone, and we kind of went, yeah, right. Sure enough, we've got a slab where our post office was, and the Hunt store will probably have to be demolished. So,
is there anything that you'd like to get out to the public that we might have left out?
No, ma'am. Appreciate everybody's volunteer and all the efforts to date, and we'll just keep ginning.
Awesome. Thank you, Kirk. Thanks so much for your time. So I'm going to send it back to you guys at the station. But I also want to mention I did speak to the owner at the Hunt store, and she did inform me that she's had a lot of community members reach out to her that are wanting to help, and they're going to update
We're unable to release any further information on the deceased at this time, as our thoughts and prayers go out to the loved ones. We are working hard to locate anyone who is still missing and to ensure they are safe. There are 2 ways that you can report the missing people. This is something I would really like y'all to spend some time getting out. One of the ways is via phone. We have a call center set up to accept information and share that information along our relief and incident commanders. That number is 830-285-1111. I'll repeat, 830-285-1111.
It's 258.
Correction. 258. Sorry about that. I'm going to repeat it one more time. 258. 258. Number for the final time is 830-258-1111. Is everybody good? Okay. Second way is via email. Like the phone number, information received will be shared along our relief teams. That email is floodrecovery@co.tx.us. Repeating one more time, floodrecovery@co.tx.us. There is a shelter for the general public who needs assistance at the First United Methodist Church, 321 Thompson Drive in Kerrville. 321 Thompson Drive, Kerrville. At present, we don't need material or volunteer donations at this time. We are coordinating with a strong state response currently. Cash donations can be made to the Community Foundation of the Texas Hill Country. Once again, donations can be made to the Community Foundation of the Texas Hill Country. Our first responders along have been working tirelessly and will continue to conduct search and rescue operations until all citizens are accounted for. Tragic incidents like this affect us all. This community is strong and will continue to pull together during this tragic time. We have been humbled by the outpouring of support. We are very appreciative of everyone that's stepped up to help us. One thing I want to tell you and assure y'all is that we will not stop till every single person is found. We've got all the resources we need. We're here for the long haul. As I said, numbers will be changing rapidly, but like I said, we will not stop till everybody. I can't tell you, I've been asked how long will this take. I can't tell you how long it's going to take. It's going to take a while. Appreciate y'all. Like I said, getting the word out. Like I said, after this we're going to take about 5 questions. At this time, I'm going to introduce you to United States Representative Chip Roy. He's going to say a few words.
Thank you, Sheriff. I'll be brief. I'm here to show support for the community. My family comes here to Kerrville for 4th of July virtually every year. Come here for Robert Earl shows, and we were planning to be here for the show with Robert Earl and Beckman. But these are the events that we're dealing with today, and trying to explain to a world that's watching this and asking questions what a flash flood looks like, where you have a 26 to 30 foot rise in the water in a matter of an hour, 4 to 6 a.m. on a holiday, and the people that are having to respond to that. I just got everybody like pause, take a breath for the recriminations and the Monday morning quarterbacking, because there's so many great people in this community that are responding and moving quickly. Lives lost, saving people, like camp directors, and I'm going to let other people name names and stuff. That's not my job here, but we know the stories of people that have been heroic in trying to make sure that the lives lost was at a minimum, and trying to recover individuals. I got a call and an update this morning. My kid's school, there was one of their schoolmates was missing, and was one of the kids. She was on a mattress for 2 or 3 hours in the middle of the night, and she's united with her mom, and that's wonderful. And those are the kind of blessings that we should be celebrating, while we're also mourning the loss of life as we identify those that didn't make it and are now home with their Lord. So I just want to appreciate the first responders, the coordinated effort from the state, local, federal partnerships. Yesterday I was on the phone with the president, with the secretary. I expect we'll have some additional visitors today. I'll let other people talk about that, but I couldn't even get the conversation out with the secretary, trying to explain to her what we were dealing with. That doesn't happen often for me, but it took me a while to collect myself to even be able to tell her what we were looking at. And they've been fantastic, made available immediately at the request. I talked to NIM about the need for help with the Army Corps, talked to the Secretary and their team, and they're immediate. It's been an extraordinary partnership. I think there's been 1,000 or so boots on the ground combined between state, local, and federal. I'll let them say the numbers, but obviously hundreds of people that have been rescued, 160 plus air rescues. I think that number's going up. Airlifting and taking in resources to some of these camps that were isolated. So let's focus on that. Let's focus on finding those who can be found, and then we can always assess what we need to do later going forward. But extremely proud of this community. Let's finish the job here over the next few days, support the local law enforcement and the first responders, and pray for the families, particularly those who have lost loved ones. With that, I will turn it over to the mayor.
I'm Mayor Joe Herring Jr., Mayor of Kerrville, Texas. I'm glad you're here, and I have a few comments to make. People need to know today will be a hard day. It will be a hard day. This is the message I want to share. The city of Kerrville is thankful. We have help from our city crews, from county personnel, from state agencies, and federal resources, including the Coast Guard. I have been asked how people can help. The sheriff has mentioned that a fund has been set up by the Community Foundation of the Texas Hill Country. Information about this can be found on the city's Facebook page. In fact, if you want to know how to help, I know from my phone, from my texts, from my emails, Thousands of people across our state and the world want to know how they can help. The easiest way to get information about that is to follow the City of Kerrville Facebook page. City of Kerrville, City Hall Facebook page. They have done an admirable job of making sure all resources and all information is available, not only to the citizens of Kerrville, but to the citizens of the world. I'm thankful you're here. Today will be a hard day. Please pray for our community. Thank you. Next up is City Manager Dalton Rice.
Thank you, Mayor. Dalton Rice, the City Manager for the City of Kerrville. Just wanted to give a couple updates on operations. Operations did continue through the evening. We used specialized equipment with a lot of helicopters, trying to identify any areas that we could find, heat sources or whatever. So operations did continue throughout the night. Obviously, the water did recede into this morning. I do want to encourage folks with road damage, even though a road may be open, please use extreme caution. If water does get under the road, we are seeing a lot of debris, a lot of asphalt that is washing up, so there could be some other damaged areas. We did start boots on the ground operations about 8 a.m. this morning and started about southwest of Hunt, so southwest of Camp Mystic. These folks will be traveling very difficult terrain up through Ingram, and we're going to start getting information. So again, as the sheriff had alluded to, the information is changing constantly, and it's going to be changing by the minute. Talked about roads. Don't do your own searches. We know everybody wants to get help. As the roads start clearing up, you're gonna want to get out there. We are in constant communication with families. We're in constant communication with those around, and so we will continue to effortlessly work through working with our partners. Again, we've been working with Border Patrol, Texas DPS, game wardens, federal side, U.S. Coast Guard is here. We want to thank them. Air assets. Again, we have hundreds of state and federal and local resources out here supporting this community. We do have grief counselors out there, so if there's anybody that needs any support, please don't hesitate to reach out as well. We still are operating shelters. Shelters are the same ones that we gave out before. Good news is a lot of the shelters have gone down in numbers, so there's either been those that have been reunited or kind of moving on. A couple of locations we had 18 girls in there that have been reunited with their families. We're down to about 4 that we're working on reunification as well. So reunification efforts are continuously ongoing from the missing person side. Here over the next few hours, we're going to be putting more information out there as far as missing persons, on how to contact if you have somebody that is missing or a loved one. Y'all have the camp number right now. We are continuously working on the other missing person side. The best way that I can sum this up is we have the known, which is the 27 potential missing campers that we're looking for now. The unknown is how many people were here locally, visiting, on vacation, doing other things in the community that we just do not have numbers. So these numbers are going to change throughout the day. And with that, we will take 5 questions.
How many people are still missing?
On the missing individuals, the 27, are those all, that you said campers, are those all children? And then also, do we know the total number of missing that you know of, not the unknowns obviously, but the knowns of adults and children for the county?
No, the 27 missing is the children from Camp Mystic that we have as far as right now for the number. As far as unknown other missing, we do not have an accurate count, and we don't even want to begin to estimate at this time.
Can you expand on that, Mr. Rice? A lot of people in the community, business owners, people that are living along the river have said they are very concerned the number will go up of missing, and they want to know more about how you guys are looking for them, what the efforts are, maybe even some of the challenges. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, absolutely. So like I alluded to with the operations piece, we have basically a team of about 34 folks from Texas Task Force 1, DPS, game wardens, and Border Patrol that are boots on the ground on each side of the river, starting in Hunt, and they're starting to make their way up. Across this entire area, it's probably about a 17-kilometer stretch. They are going to be in very debris terrain, very difficult, challenging contours along the riverbanks. So it is a very harsh environment. We are doing what's called a primary search, which is basically a very quick search, but when I say quick, that is up, down, sideways. They're turning over as many rocks as they can, culverts, up in trees. They are looking at every possible location, and then we'll start going into a layered approach, or what we also have from the locals, which has been a really great resource. In the floods that we have, there are known collection points where debris tends to collect along the riverbank. We do have intel on what sites and locations those are, so we can also put additional resources into those collection sites and start getting a more focused approach on that.
We've seen a lot of tragic flooding. We've seen a lot of tragic flooding in central Texas over the past few weeks. There are so many people, I know this is so early, but there are so many people already asking what can be done to stop the loss of life. We saw 13 in San Antonio. We have seen an unknown number, but at least 27 here. They're scared.
Yeah, it's a great question, and I think that's a question that we definitely need to answer at some point in time. Right now, our focus is on the search and rescue efforts, making sure that we get these families out, get some closure, where we can. And so I think that is a great question that we need to ask ourselves. But right now, we want to focus on search and rescue operations.
Are there still rescue efforts going on right now?
Yes, we are. We have been in continuous search and rescue operations. Again, this river, even though it started in West Kerr, this goes all the way down through East Kerr County and is continuing on, to the southeast. So yes, search and rescue operations are continuously ongoing, and we'll continue to update on that. One more question.
Where are you finding these folks right now with active rescues this morning? Are they stuck in an island of land? Where are they?
Typically, rescues, if we do find them, they're going to be in trees, or we find them, either on high ground. Again, most of the rescues that we are having at this point in time are other camps. So we have a lot of camps, and they are all accounted for, but they are isolated because of road damage. So we know where they're at. We're getting them food, water, resources, and now it's a matter of just getting them safely across, low water crossings or other areas to other shelters.
There's so much confusion, though, about these kids. We know that there's missing kids. There's pictures and there's names and all this stuff. Are you going to give a list of the names of the kids?
Absolutely not. We are not going to give a list of the names. We want to protect, those families and their information. Sure. The other thing I want to point out, and thank you for bringing that up, these families are getting bombarded with spam calls and spam information. So we want to keep the kids' information and these families' names out of any public, light, to give them the opportunity to grieve and to make sure that we give them the best possible resources that we can and get them reconnected as soon as possible. So some of them are, and some of those have been a great help as well. So yes, it is a double-edged sword, but we need to work through it. So our next one will be at 2 o'clock, and we will give updates then. Thank you.
The big message for everybody out there, yep, it's pray. It's pray for this community. Go ahead, Steve.
I do actually. I can only muddle through.
No, what I'm saying, someone that can give us some information in Spanish.
Yes, sir.
Because there's some media here that might need some.
Here, well, let me come to that. Nobody present, no.
Nobody present.
No. I mean, mine would be very broken.
Thank you.
I could try, but it wouldn't be good.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Roy, do you have traffic discussion with News Nation?
Okay.
News Nation, then we'll do you, and then you.
Okay.
We can do ours together. Is that
we
okay?
can, we can just go in order. We can just
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Y'all were first, so.
We'll get to everybody. Is that fair?
Okay.
I mean, I'm not in a rush. I don't.
Okay. All right, we go.
We're on the air, so. Okay. All right. So tell us, obviously, devastating news here in Kerrville. This is something so unexpected, and I can't imagine you coming down here. So many lives lost. I wanted to get a little bit of clarification. Hey, do you want to hear about the clarification? We were talking about that. We were both trying to get clarification.
Yeah.
They talked about 27 fatalities, 18 adults, 9 children, and then the 27 are at Camp Mystic confirmed. What is that? Do you know what that is?
Well, I want to be careful about expressing facts because I'm going to rely on the locals to do that.
Okay.
But I do, what they're basically saying is you've got the 18 adults, you've got the 9 children that are now known in public, right? Confirmed deceased. Right. And then there's obviously a sizable block. I heard the county commissioner talk about, or the county manager, talk about, city manager, talk about the 27, I think, that were still missing. That was the number that I heard him say. Yeah. But again, I'll let them deal with the numbers. What we know is there's a significant block of people still missing. We're very concerned. Operations right now to see if we can find any that are still surviving. And obviously there's we're finding people who did not make it. So I'll let them talk about the numbers as it unfolds today.
Yeah, and that's the 27 from Camp Mystic that they know that they can pin to those.
That's right.
Which makes it devastating. These are children. We're talking about children at a camp just celebrating.
And it's also counselors, it's also directors, it's people that, as I said, I get a little broken up thinking about the director who gave her life trying to save those kids. And there's going to be others, there's going to be adults, there's people that were swept away in RV parks. It's just when you have a almost 30-foot rise in water, 26 to 30-foot rise in water in like an hour, and it happens at 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. when people are most asleep, most at home. That's hard. That is hard to manage in a place like this. And there's going to be a lot of questions about what could you do differently. It's like, okay, everybody go to camp on a hilltop. Oh, well, no. I mean, everybody have an emergency system. Okay, an emergency system at 4 o'clock in the morning because the water was more than they anticipated. Nobody was talking about that level of water. But we'll figure all that out later. Right now, the key is just focusing on seeing if we can find anyone else surviving. We had this great story that I told about up here before about one of my kids' schoolmates that was found and she was floating on a mattress for a couple hours in the middle of the night. So there are some heartwarming stories out of this, but obviously some devastation too.
Yeah, and so this is a time where how do you recover from something like this? The state obviously is using all the resources necessary, but it will take a while for this city to recover and for the state, for the most part, to recover. This has been a catastrophic nationwide event, and obviously the governor's using all of its resources.
Yeah, this is not the time to talk about recovery, meaning going forward. It's time to talk about recovering individuals, recovering anyone who's still surviving, recovering those who are deceased, allow some, closure for families to figure all this out. But going forward, we're resilient and we'll figure it out. We always do. And I'm deeply, deeply proud to represent this part of the state of Texas. I would say it's the best part of the best state of the best country in the history of the world. And, we'll manage through this. Right now it's tough. It's a tough day. Today's going to be a tough day. But we keep holding out hope that, we find some survivors and everyone's out there working hard trying to find them.
And this family or this friend that you knew whose daughter was on a mattress, tell me quickly about that.
Well, I have loose details, but I've got the information because we were looking for her. We were worried that she was missing, and we got word, I think it was late last night, but we got word that she had made it through and had survived by basically clinging to a mattress in the water, floating for a few hours in the middle of all of the deluge. I don't have details on the rescue, but she's alive and with her mom right now, and it's wonderful.
Camp?
She was at a camp, yeah, and I don't know which camp.
How old was she?
She might have been at Mystic, but I'm not sure. But yeah, third grader. Yeah. So.
How was she rescued?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't. But these are there's going to be some good stories out of this, and there's going to be some bad stories out of this, and we just got to be for everybody, pray for everybody, and be with the families who lost their loved ones.
All right. Anything else you want to add? I might have missed.
No, the only thing I'd say, as I said before, it's a strong, coordinated effort led predominantly by the locals in the state with some Fed backup, but everybody's attuned to it. Like I said, I spoke to the president, the secretary yesterday. They're all on board to help in any way. You hear helicopters right now. I mean, there's a lot of things going on. So.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Okay.